Raya wasn't like Joan. She didn't flood the room with noise or command attention. She moved like smoke, soft, present, and impossible to pin down. But that afternoon, standing by the bike rack with her sketchbook and gentle voice, she became Helen's first breath of normal since everything collapsed. The next day, in biology, Raya slipped Helen a folded piece of paper. On it was a drawing. 2 cartoon girls standing in the rain, one holding an umbrella over the other. The caption read, "It's okay if your sunshine comes from someone new." Helen stared at it for a long time. It was simple, but it hit her harder than any apology Joan could have given. At lunch, Helen found Raya sitting on the bleachers behind the gym, earbuds in, sketching in the margins of her history book. She sat beside her. Neither of them said anything for a while, and somehow, it was perfect. Over the next week, they found a rhythm. They weren't best friends, not yet. But they shared silence without awkwardness, which felt more valuable than all of Joan's giggles had in the end. Raya introduced Helen to a band called Rooftop Ghosts and a Korean candy that burned Helena's tongue but made her laugh. In return, Helen told Raya about her favorite childhood cartoon and how she used to write pretend letters to imaginary pen pals when she was sad. One day in English, Mr. Niles assigned a group project, a dramatic reenactment of a key scene in Romeo and Juliet. Everyone groaned. Helen sighed. He randomly assigned the pairs. "Helen and Raya," he announced. Raya looked at Helen. "Guess we're dying for each other, huh?" Helen chuckled. "Better than pretending to be in love with Stephen?" They spent the next few days rehearsing after school. Raya transformed when she read lines. Her voice sharpened, her eyes locked in. She became someone else, someone fierce, someone fearless. But one evening, as they rehearsed on a bench outside the auditorium, Helen noticed something. Raya's sleeve had slipped up slightly. Beneath it, faint scars lined her wrist, pale, old, but unmistakable. Raya saw Helen glance, froze, pulled her sleeve down in one sharp motion. Helen looked away instantly. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." "It's fine," Raya said, voice tight. Silence fell between them, heavier than usual. Helen wanted to ask, to understand, but she remembered how awful it felt when people had prodded her wounds too soon. So instead, she said quietly, "Hey, if you ever want to talk, or not talk, or just sit on the bleachers and share spicy candy in total silence, I'm here." Raya blinked, then nodded, just once, and that was enough. They went back to rehearsing. Later that night, Helen lay in bed, phone on her chest, staring at the ceiling. She thought about how everyone carried something invisible. Joan had chosen to leave, but Raya had chosen to stay, even when staying was hard. And somehow, in the cracks of broken friendship, something fragile but beautiful had started to grow. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you something to think about, share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode.